Okay, do not focus on mostly on recording. So you have to listen now properly. Okay. So, but at the time of initial stage, you have to inform. But if you think about recordings, then you should not listen properly here. Okay. So listen carefully first here. So here, first we will discuss about local storage. What is local storage? Okay. It will store the data permanently. So permanently in our local machine. So whenever we want to use local storage, it will store the data permanently in our local machine. So if you want to remove, then so we have to use or we have to remove manually. We need to go there and we have to remove, or so we can use JavaScript code. So what JavaScript code? We will write one program for removing that one. Okay. Either we can go there, particular location, and we can remove, or otherwise we will write the JavaScript program. So then we can remove, but automatically will not remove. Okay. So just remember this one. Second one. So JavaScript can insert, get, update, and delete so local storage data. So JavaScript can do all the CRUD operations. So this 4 operations we will call it as CRUD operations. Okay, so we will discuss a little bit more at the time of React.js. So just if you do all the insert, get, update, delete operations, we will call it as so CRUD operations. CRUD means create, retrieve, update, delete. Create, retrieve. You can call code also. You know code, right? The he. So we can call that one also, no issues. So update, delete. So these are the 4 operations we will do it. Okay. So now if you want to do it all those things, so we need to use some methods, right? So for that, so they have given some predefined method: set item, get item, and remove item. Okay, so I'm writing those things. So set item. So this is the method we have to use for add key and value to the local storage. Okay, so add the key and value to the local storage. Similar to, so whatever the we have added that the data to the local storage, so we have to retrieve the or fetch the or get the as you wish. So get the value so based on the key. Okay, so retrieve the value based on key from local storage. How to get it, I will show you practically, don't worry. So remove item. So they have given, so remove the particular item. So remove the item or something, data or something based on the key from local service. So based on the key, we will get the value inside the get item. So based on the key, so we will remove the item, that particular. So local storage, we have to remove the data from the local storage. So generally local storage holds the data 5 MB of data So based on device, sometimes it would be like until 10 MB also. That's why. So there is no exact guarantee it will occupy only 5 MB. So that's why we will call it as 5 MB to 10 MB. Okay. So based on the devices. Yeah, so this is so more than enough for the local storage. Similar to, okay, sometimes, but mostly, so they will write in the books or some PDFs, local storage, sometimes 5 MB, sometimes 10 MB. Okay, but session storage, mostly they will use 5 MB data. Okay, if anyone asks differences, that is one of the difference. Same story would be applicable for the session storage. Okay, so I'm writing same thing. So it stores the data temporarily, temporarily. So it will not store permanently. So we need to go there and remove them manually, or otherwise we have to use the remove item. All these things not required. It will automatically remove whenever we have to close the browser tab. Okay, so data is lost when the browser tab is closed. No, sir, still I want to keep it the browser tab, but I want to remove. Same story. Again, whatever the local storage properties would methods would be there. Similar way we have to apply here also. Okay. Same story. I'm writing same story. So JavaScript. I don't want to write insert all those get update all those things. So JavaScript provides CRUD operations, right? So JavaScript provide so CRUD operations in session storage. Means same create, insert, update, delete all those points. Okay, B. C, it holds okay 5 MB of data maximum. So they will use for session storage 5 MB, but local storage they will use so 10 MB also based on the device. Okay, so 5 MB of data based on device. Okay, so these are the things we have to use it for the local storage. So now total how many methods would be there, how many properties would be there. So let me write down. If you want to write it, you can write it fast. Okay, so then write it a little bit fast. Same operations would be available here also. I did not write it. Yeah, set item, add key and value to the instead of local storage. Session storage. Same story. Okay. So what are the things we have provided here? The same story. So I have written so local storage separately, session storage separately, right? So let me provide overall how many properties and methods we will use generally. We will write down. Okay. So is it done? Okay. Fine. So now let me write down overall properties and methods. So web storage properties and methods. So we have already written 3 methods. So those are special methods we have to use regularly, but actually how many properties and methods would be there? So one is length property. So whichever the things we are writing without parentheses, that is property, right? Find out the So length of the local or storage or session storage. So length of the local storage or session storage. Second one, set item. This is method, right? So we need to understand set item, add key and value to the, we have already seen, but once again, so local storage or session storage. And same story, get item. Okay, so we will copy paste, otherwise it will take time, right? Third one, get item. Fourth one, remove item. And fifth one, clear. So clear method is used for entire all the session storage and as well as local storage. It will clear all local or session storage. And one more, sixth one, key method would be there. Very rare case we will use this one. Passed a number to retrieve nth key. So that particular position, one nth key of local storage, or we will use very rare case this one. So ignore this one. But if anywhere, if you find out any what is that multiple choice question or somewhere, so then you should be aware, right? That is the reason I have discussed last one. Okay, remaining things we will use mostly. So let me provide the syntax wise. So first, let me provide, so local storage or window.local storage, both are same, right? So because, so local storage is available from the window. If you want, we can check it out. F12, window, enter, you will get the window object. Overall, this is the parent object for all the JavaScript objects, DOM objects, BOM objects, right? So local storage, you can find out L. PQ, oh, sorry. L, local storage. Okay, so local storage, similar to session storage would be there. Manual PQ or US session storage. So these two objects are available from the window object, right? So that's why if you write window.local storage is coming. Similar way, so window.session storage is coming, right? So these are the things we will find out the objects. So in that, if you want to provide methods, if you want to see, so session storage, so dot, if you want set item, get item, all those things, we will get it here. Okay, if you set it, then only we will get it. Otherwise, we should not write. Set it, get it, clear, all those things we can use and we can utilize in our examples. So let me provide those things here. So for example, I'm providing, so one thing I will write window dot, or otherwise you can use directly. So normal way. So I'm trying to provide set item. So my name is Chiranjeevi. So key is name. Chiranjeevi is the value. So don't forget, this is the formula. Key and value must be strings. Sir, if I provide objects, if I provide numbers, then you have to convert into strings. Again, at the time of using, you have to convert again into string to number, string to object, right? Did you understand point? So local storage or session storage will store the data in the form of key value pairs as strings. Even that can be number, string, boolean, anything. So if it is number, we have to convert into string. Then while accessing, again, we have to convert into number to string to number again. Means we are doing like some modification. right? So otherwise, that is the so by default behavior in the local storage and session storage, they have given only for the type strings are allowed. That is the drawback. Okay, so that is the reason we have to convert extra if you provide any other data types. Okay, fine. In real time, we will use mostly objects. So object we have to convert into string again while using again convert it into objects. Okay, so for that, so we have to use stringify and parse methods for converting object to string, string to objects. But normal things we can convert number of or so boolean of something we can do it. But the thing is here objects level we will use mostly in real time. So for that JSON is giving stringify and parse methods. Okay, we will see all those things before that. So window dot local storage, same thing would be applicable for session storage also. So get item. So while accessing, you can use only key name, then automatically get Chiranjeevi. Okay. So if I remove local storage dot remove item. So if I explain all these things, I don't want to much spend about example, right? Because I have covered almost thing here. So local storage dot remove item based on the key, you can remove the local storage. So if you want to use, I have set the local storage so more than 10 times, but I don't like all those things. I want to clear entire local storage, just clear method. Okay, so if you want any specific particular index level, so we can get it that one. So we discussed it, right? That particular key name index position. So window dot local storage. So you can use key of that particular index. Okay, but this is we should not use till now. I did not use this one. Okay, fine. Just for understanding, I've explained these things we will use regularly. So now if it is an object, then how to do it? Okay. So what we have to do? So for example, const or we did not discuss about const let keyword, we will discuss. So for example, I have a person object. So name. So this is a literal way of object creation. We know, right? Chiranjeevi. So location, Hyderabad. Okay, so now I want to set the, see, listen carefully. Where is local storage used for web apps? So in the real time web applications, okay, I will tell you for us. So generally what happened, so whenever we have to send the request, every time if you send the request, if you want to fetch the data from the server side, so it will take too much of time. It would be a performance issues, right? Every time. So that's why if you don't want to change any data, so why should we send the request every time to the server if it is constant data? So for that, what they will do, so they want to store the data in our local storage or system storage. So second request onwards, so they don't want to hit to the servers. So they want to hit to the, so our local browser cache, this thing, local session storage or web storage. So they will get it from there. So because of that, it will improve the performance of the application. So for example, our WhatsApp is there, Facebook is there. So if you want to fetch the data from 2000, so I think they have started 2012 maybe, but we have started our profile from 2002, sorry, 2012. So now almost 9 years data. If you send facebook.com, if you give the username and password, so is it possible to fetch all those 9 years data at a time within 1 second? It's impossible, right? So for that, they will maintain some virtual servers and all those mechanisms, leave it about that server side concepts, okay, server level. Okay, so that mechanism they will maintain physical servers, it would be very expensive, all those things would be there. But still, every time you are fetching the data, every time if you want to fetch the data from the database, this 9 years data, how much time? So that blank screen, white screen will display. So for that reason, first time, if you want to start with new system, so first time it will fetch the data, so it will take too much of time. first request. From second request onwards, it will fetch the data from your local machine. So that Facebook domain related data, whichever the things are static, constant. So that profile, so previous data, whatever the things are provided in the Facebook, that is constant, right? It will never change, right? So for example, you have shared your image. So when? So 8 years back. So you want to see that photo every time, right? Because you have already shared the data 8 years back. So that is constant. But if you want to scroll up, so that 8 years back related information also, if you want, you can get it, right? So because of it will store that information in your local machine. So we are fetching from there. So that's why, so second request onwards, even though if you request immediately, it will fetch it and it will display the data immediately. Whatever the data is dynamically getting, for that it will take time or otherwise. So for that reason only we have to write if else conditions. Okay, if local storage, first we have to fetch the data if it is available. If it is not available, then only we have to fetch the data from the server side. So that type of logic we have to write it in real time. Okay, fine. Cache is also similar to system. No, cache mechanism is, that is one more technique in the HTML5 app cache. Okay, so that app cache mechanism, so that is also similar to this one, but that concept is different. This concept is different. So nowadays, modern browser, because of lack of knowledge from the HTML5, these things. Okay, fine. So here, HTML5, one more concept is there, app cache mechanism. So app cache mechanism, only static related files like JavaScript. So sometimes JavaScript's dynamic also, right? Because so we have given 10 JavaScript files. Okay, so if it is 10 JavaScript files, out of 10, 8 JavaScript files are constant. We don't want to change. But 2 JavaScript files keep on updating based on requirement. So those 8 JavaScript files we have to store and we have to fetch it and we have to store it into our local machine. So what are those things? Images, so JavaScript, CSS files. So these all things we have to keep inside our local system. Okay, so whenever we have to first time request send it, right, it will store. But coming to the local storage and session storage, these things, not only static data, even dynamic data, it would be constant. So for example, I said, right, so 8 years back, 8 years back, the data. So what we are doing, so that data I want to store it into in our local machine. Okay, so for example, if you want to delete forcefully, we can use remove item, right? But so we don't want any methods for the app cache mechanism. So you need to go only one approach, that is manual approach, forcefully you need to delete. So there is no specific methods for removing item. So clear, this type of things are not available for the JavaScript at this thing. But we can go and physically, so in your local system, so that cache related things we can remove. Okay, but the thing is, again, if you send the request, same story in web storage and as well as app cache mechanism, same story. If you forcefully clear them manually, so if you send the request freshly, it will fetch the data. Okay, so local storage, session storage also, it will fetch the data freshly, and as well as app cache mechanism, only static files will fetch the data first time. It will take too much of time. Second request onwards, same story, but in the local storage, maximum how much? So 5 MB, like max 10 MB, but app caching mechanism, we can use more than that. So if you want to store, you can store so more than that data, even so 10 MB, 20 MB, 30 MB, you can store as much as you want, because so that JavaScript files, if it is static, then it will store it. Okay, so concepts are different, but the way of using, so two approaches are improving the performance of the application. Okay, fine. Yeah, finally we have a person object. So I moved a little bit outside, but you should be aware of those things. Yeah, so now window dot, so local storage or session storage, anything you can use it. Set item. Set item, I want to use key name. So maybe you can use person or something, or otherwise you can use user as you wish. Key name should be as you wish, but it must be in string format. But so this is actually not string, right? This is an object. But I want to convert this object into string. So for that, we have to use so JSON dot stringify. Stringify. Okay, stringify method, we have to use it. Then we have to pass that object. Just a second. It's got disconnected. Okay. Yeah. So this is the way. So that key name in be in string. So now this person object, we are, this one is the object, but I want to convert this object into string format. We have to use json.stringify. Okay, so now, so while accessing that item, so how to access? Window dot local storage or session storage get item based on the key, right? So you have to use user. Okay, so once we get the item, so this will display inside the string format. So if you want to convert again into object, so we have to convert into so json dot parse of this thing. So parse of that window dot local storage dot get item of that thing. Now it will convert, so that user would be again object format. So JSON is just one object. So we know JavaScript object notation, right? That object. So that object is providing predefined object. So stringify and parse, these are the two methods are available. Okay, so we will discuss JSON object a little bit more. So before React.js, okay, so we need to communicate with RESTful web services, right? So in that scenarios, we will discuss about JSON. JSON means don't worry anything. JS means JavaScript. ON means object notation. Okay, JSON. So JSON also it's similar to JavaScript object literal approach, but small differences would be there. I will explain there. Okay, fine. So these are the things about so web storage, so local storage and session storage. So now we will see the examples. Now you can understand it's very fast. So let me take it as two files. File 1.html, file 2.html. So inside the file one, I'm trying to provide so one simple thing. So I want to provide the store, so local storage, or we can use so window.local storage. So what we discussed, the same thing we are writing. Example, name Chiranjeevi. Okay, so I'm trying to, okay, let me write first local storage, then we will go for session storage. So here, if you want to write designation, okay, so something, senior software engineer, something, okay. So I'm writing one HTML, href equal to second file to the file to the HTML. So file to something for understanding I'm writing, otherwise not required. So inside the file two, I'm trying to get it those values. So how to retrieve local storage dot get item. So I have given name, right? Name designation. Okay, so here also we will write JavaScript. Okay, so for understanding, this is second HTML. So H2 file 2, one horizontal row. So this is a file 1, one horizontal row. Okay, save all. Okay, this is testing. Go to the file 1, reveal in File Explorer. Go to there. Yes. So file 1. So I'm providing setting the values. So and also we have provided inside the file 1 one link, right? So this is the heading and I have provided one link also. If I click on file 1, so file 2, so then what will happen? So it will go to the that file 2 link, file2.html, and so file 1 related information, name, designation, we are printing here. We did not print, right? So if you want to display inside the browser, we know document.write. This is one of the ways of display possibilities, or otherwise you can use console.log. Just I'm writing display inside the, like similar to the HTML tags where we have to display. Okay, so now refresh. So inside the file 1, that link is there, but that Chiranjeevi file 2, so we are getting Chiranjeevi software, senior software engineer. So those data we are getting. So if you observe file 1 related data, so we are storing into file 1, but we are able to access wherever you want. But if you want to access wherever you want, then means we are storing into somewhere else. So that object, we want to access entire application. If you provide security for this local storage and session storage, then no need to learn. So object management by using React.js Redux concepts. So in the Angular level, behavior, subject, parent-child communication, child to parent communication, sibling level component communications, these all things not required. If you use web storage is more than 5 MB data, and this web storage maintain the security, then no one, we can avoid too many concepts. But these are the biggest drawbacks of web storage. So we can't store more than 10 MB data, and we can't provide any security for this. So that's why, so we have to go for components communication. We have to use too many approaches in JavaScript libraries and frameworks. Okay, fine. We will see where it will store exactly in our browser. F12 applications. If you observe local storage here, okay, if you expand, so file, so you will find out designation, senior software engineer, so name Chiranjeevi, something item JSON, something I have given in the another example, not here. Okay, so that's why if I want to clear all, so we have one more approach would be there, right? So clear method would be there, we can clear that one. So that for that, so file 2 dot unable to open test dot, okay, fine. So if you want to local storage dot clear, so after everything, so no sir, I don't want to clear all those things. Then I want to remove only remove item of particular name I don't want. See here we have retrieved the name. Just now we have seen Chiranjeevi. So now it will not retrieve, it will retrieve, but after that we are removing. See, go back. Go to the application, see the file. So name is there, but it will remove if you observe. See, okay, whenever we have to click the file to Chiranjeevi software senior software engineer we are getting, but after that, so we have removed the name. So here name is not there. Okay, first we have fetched the data, we have displayed, but after that after completion of that execution, so we have removed the item from the local storage. Okay, same story would be applicable session storage also. So the difference is whenever we have to close the browser tab, it will clear the data. Okay, so for that session storage, same file to, instead of local we will provide the session. I don't want to remove anything. Save all. So where to check, that is also important, right? Okay, now it is coming. Yeah. So file one, same file to link I have given inside the file one. So, but here application, so you have seen local storage, right? Below that session storage would be there. So click on that, see designation and name came. So if you click on that Chiranjeevi software, senior software engineer getting from the session storage only. Okay, so now if I click on open, see, so if you go to the F12, so application session storage something, so nothing is there, right? So clear, but still local store, where is that earlier one? Okay, I have removed actually. Okay, clear, done, right? So then it will be providing that local storage one, but session storage one, it will not be available because whenever we have to close the tab, so it would be disappear. And if you want to go through the, so object level, same thing, I'm providing object level here. Okay, so instead of set item, I want to provide the one object. So where person equal to, oh sorry, person equal to, I'm taking, so name, Chiru, designation, SSC, session or local storage something. So local storage dot set item. So here I'm trying to provide some user. As you wish, you can give any key, but here I want to pass person, and this is object. So I want to convert this object to the stringify. So now, so this is in the string format. Otherwise, it doesn't allow if you provide directly object. So at the time of retrieval, file2.html, so just write down user. But while getting the user here, what will happen? So it will display that string format. So what we have to do? So we have to convert into that one into, so object, right? So for that, what we have to do while retrieving, so document.write, you have to provide the JSON.parse method of this thing. So now it will display object format. Okay, we will see now. Save, save all. So we have used local storage, right? Save. Now come to the here, refresh. Where is that? Application, what happened? Okay, let me change. File one, F12, application, local storage. So user item song designation would be there. This is remove. So from where somewhere we have used this one. Leave it about that one. So here, okay, otherwise we will do one thing. We will run once again. So local storage dot clear. Okay. Now if you refresh. Okay, no user that came. So just now we have provided, right? Even I will provide clear that one. Okay, fine. So previous data is not available. You understand, right? So earlier something is there, but I have removed. But we have run the program. So that file one related things. So just so that username, so Chiru designation SSE is there. So our object previous data have cleared. So just now. So even if you want to delete, so local storage dot clear. So then we have to close this one. So that is this thing, right? Okay, fine. Clear method. Okay, so now if you go to the application, even that cleared, right? But if you refresh, then we will get it because so we run the program, right? See, it is coming user because we have provided just now, right? So name, Chiru, designation, SSE, we are setting. So and also we are retrieving. If you click here, so that object. So if you observe here, we are getting object because that is in object format. So if you want to check that one, so we have to convert again into string. But in the later stage, we will use pipes for understanding what exactly that object. Object, we can't see the data, right? So if it is in string format only, then we can able to see. Okay, fine. So this is the way we have to access and fetch the data by using local storage and session storages. So these all are very, very important. So now you understand. So you can use that assignment. So based on this example, okay. So I will send you this one. Undefined, we know, right? So if you get into object related values, if you did not return anything, then we will return undefined. That is normal thing, leave it about. Okay. This one. Okay, so these are the two examples you have to see, and you have to, I have mostly have covered at the time of theory only. Just use these examples and try to find out that particular thing. So whatever the form data we are giving, right, at the time of product form, I have given one assignment, right? So based on the product form, you should provide the save, then that form data we have to store it into object. So that object actually so doesn't allow local storage or session storage. So for that reason we have to convert into stringify. So then while accessing again we have to use it object. So then we have to do those things. So can you show how to dynamically store data in local storage? Dynamically. So why dynamically? That is the given, I have given assignment, right, Alkesh? So just do that assignment, then you will get to know how to store the data, how to delete the data. So based on the your request, you know splice method, right? How to delete. You know set item, right? Just now we have seen. You know get item, right? How to get it. So the same thing you have to use it. So while displaying that form, production registration form, once we click submit, then we are storing dynamically, right? So that form data we are storing dynamically into local storage. So whenever we have to display in the bottom, so that product ID, product name, product price, something I have given. So that assignment, did you remember? Have you seen that assignment? So that data we are getting dynamically. So we are giving data in the form and we are storing into local storage and we are fetching dynamically from there and we have to display the data inside the table. That is the assignment I have given. So you know how to use the set item, get item, so remove item, how to convert JSON to parse and JSON to stringify. So based on these things, and while removing the product item, so we have to use the splice method. Don't forget that one. Okay, so you have to use that one, then we can delete. So I have given some delete symbol also, right? So the persons who knows bootstrap, you can use glyphicons or otherwise. So normal image, delete image, you can provide the link for that. Okay, so try to do that assignment. So then you will get to know how to use exactly local storage and session storage. You will find out. Okay, fine. So go for break and come back. Sir, can you please send all the assignments on the WhatsApp? No, actually, they are saying through them only you need to get the assignments. I will send it to Pooja or Rohit or someone. So based upon that, I will send those assignments. I can't share directly those assignments to you. Okay, fine. So I think I have already sent two assignments to Pooja. I think she already shared with you. So do those assignments. So we have three more assignments. I will send those three assignments. So in the couple of what is the days, so within 2 to 3 days, I will send those 3 assignments also. Once you submit these 2 assignments, I will verify each and every one assignments approaches also. So maybe, so I will verify separately. I don't want to take class in that time. So I want to check each and every one assignment. So if I see all the members assignments are similar, then copy paste. I don't want like that. So I need to see different, at least UI should be different, or the way of approach would be a little bit shortcuts. So they may use optimization code. Some guys, they may use as it is normal programmer code. So I will verify each and every one. Okay. So do those 2 assignments, then you understand something about JavaScript. Then I can know, I should aware of, okay, these guys knows functions. These guys knows objects. So these guys knows web storage. So these guys knows something arrays. So because, so if you do those assignments, I think you understand about HTML, CSS, and as well as JavaScript. So if you do those 5 assignments, but I have given 2 assignments, so I have tried to cover all those things there, I have covered in that strings, arrays, objects, so web storage, so registration form. If you apply CSS, you can use that one. So most of the concepts you need to apply for those assignments. Okay, so do those assignments, then you can find out the things better approach. Okay, so initially you have to do as it is normal programmer, you have to do it. So then try to apply good CSS, try to apply optimization code. So do one by one, and finally you have to create so final code. And moreover, each and everyone should create GitHub account. Okay, so each and everyone should GitHub account. You should share your assignments through GitHub. So I will download it here and I will execute. I will check the code. Based on that, I will give you the review. Okay, so these guys, you should aware of this part. Okay, this guy. So I will ask the code also. So did you understand this line of code? If you did not understand, you should ask. Okay, so then only I can give. But initially, do not ask anything while doing any assignment. Search in Google, search with your friends, but do not copy as it is code. But yeah, please, they know that code, so I will copy and paste. I will show it to sir. If you do it like that, even though if you copy paste it, I need to ask each and every line of code what's happening here. Okay, that's why even though if you do copy paste also, no issues, but don't do that one. So try to search in Google, then you will get to know good ideas. Okay, so based on that, you will think about different way. If you ask your friend, then you will get to know only one way of idea. But if you search with Stack Overflow related solutions or some other websites related solutions, so your brain will work like as a programmer. Okay, why can't we use like this? So why? But it will take time. That is sure. So you will not get immediately, but this effort will be useful in the future level. So that's why. Okay, fine. So go for break and come back. Then we will discuss about remaining things about JavaScript. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so okay. So we will go to the normal topics what we discussed earlier. So we were at regular expressions, and after that we have discussed about this thing. So now we will go to the prototype object. Prototype object. So what is a prototype object? So this is also one of the object only in JavaScript. But if you want to inherit or if you want to access the object related properties and methods, so we will use the usage of prototype, then we can achieve the properties and methods. Okay, for example, I have already created one employee or customer or product or something, but I want to add some new property or new method for that existing function. So we will use this prototype. Okay. Yeah, here, so just whenever we have to create the existing object, so for that existing object, if you want to provide any new properties, so new methods, so we have to use this prototype keyword. Okay, so indirectly we are using parent related object related properties and methods we are accessing into child. Once we see the practically, then we can understand. So prototype is an object. So all JavaScript objects inherit their properties and methods from their prototype only. I'll show you practically, then you can understand a little bit more. So if you want to add new properties at later stage, this is very important, not immediately. So I have created one function. That function is having some properties and methods. So for that, I want to add later stage new properties and new functions, then we will use it. So new properties at later stage to a function or to existing function, so which will be shared, which will be shared across all the objects, then we use prototype. Okay, across, then we use prototype object. Okay, so now I will, okay, first we will see, then only you can understand theory immediately. So for example, function employee is there. Okay, so name is salary. These are the three properties. Okay, we know. So we are writing this dot name equal to name. So this dot is equal to is, excuse me. So this dot salary equal to salary. This is existing function. Okay. So now I want to add one new property. This is already someone has already created, but I want to add new property. For example, I want to add one height property. Okay. Okay. Sometimes what happen, so this function may have one function, so predefined. So function inside also we can provide another function, right? Then we will call it as methods also sometimes. So this dot, so my emp info something is there equal to, so we can write some business logic here. So this is existing properties This is existing function, but I want to add one new property, that is hike. So one new method, so that is, so new, okay, my new emp info. So this is the function I want to add in the latest stage. So this is the property, new property, new function. So if you want to add latest stage at the time of runtime, not here, so then we will use prototype object. Okay, so now we will write the theory points, then you can understand a little bit more now. So generally this prototype object is, so we know, if you know the other programming languages, okay, even ES6, if you have little bit idea, so we have CS classes, ES6 classes, or otherwise Java classes, .NET classes, any programming language classes, similar to that one only. So prototype is similar to classes in other programming languages. So we will call it as here prototypal inheritance. This is JavaScript level. So classical inheritance, that is ES6 level, or something we will call it as other programming level. Okay, so this is similar to classes in other programming language, but by using prototype, so we can add properties. Okay, properties and functions or methods, as you wish, you can call anything. Properties and functions. So at runtime, that's it. So now if you want to add, so any new property, how to add, okay, we will see. For example, that employee is there, right? So how to add employee dot prototype dot, so my new property, okay, maybe we have written hike, right? So hike equal to something 5,000 rupees. So employee, this is the existing function. So prototype, so that is prototype. New function, what is the function name we have written? So my new emp info equal to function logic. So whenever we have to add a new property, so we have to use the prototype keyword. So based on that only we can add. So directly we cannot add, so without using prototype keyword. Okay, we will see, we can, but the thing is it would be applicable for only that particular objects level. If you create multiple objects, right? We know, for example, I'm creating for this employee function, I'm creating where employee1 equal to, so new employee. So name is Chiru. We have already learned this one, constructor function way of object creation. Don't think too much about this one. So we have learned literal way of object creation. Second one is the constructor function way of object creation. This is the second approach I'm using here. So age some 30, salary 50,000. So another employee 2 equal to new employee. So Ramesh something 35, salary 70,000. It's displaying here 70,000. It's getting. So this is, we know already, we have learned constructor way of function creation objects. So now I want to try to add later stage at the runtime hike new property. So my new emp info, another function for the existing function employee. Okay, don't confuse. So sir, this is also function. This is also function. Yes. So JavaScript is, so function inside we can write another function. This is one approach. So if you think about, if it is a, this is a class. So if you know the other programming languages, or otherwise ignore. So these all are normal properties. This is a method property. So if you think about literal way of object creation, so combination of properties and functions and objects we have written, right? Similar way we are writing. So these are normal properties. This is function property or method property. That's it. Think like that. Yeah. So here, hike new property and my new MPM. This is new method property. So I want to add runtime. If you want to add runtime, so we have to use so prototype keyword. So if you try to use only for single object level emp1 dot hike, it would be applicable only for employee one. If you write emp1 dot my new emp info, it would be applicable for only that particular employee. So then how to apply for all the objects? So then we have to use existing employee that predefined one, this one dot. If you without using this prototype, it doesn't work. Prototype dot hike. So what's happening internally? Now let me explain. So generally, whenever we have to create the object, so listen carefully. This is very important. I will show you one more example, then you will get to know, yeah, sir, this is very good. Okay, so just listen. So this is our employee object. So this is our prototype object. Okay, so employee objects are, what are the things I have given? So name is salary. So then my emp info. These are the three properties, one method. But here I have given at the time of runtime, hike and my new emp info, right? We are trying to add these two new properties to the employee only, but not directly to the employee. Internally, we will maintain the prototype object. So this prototype object is having object is having hike and that. So my new emp info method. So these two are available inside the prototype. But can we access this hike and my new emp info inside the employee? Yes, because so this prototype object is inherited so from this employee. So now we are able to access that hike and my new emp info inside the employee. Okay, we will see practically, then you can understand easily. Don't worry. Okay, so now let me create one example. So file one testing.html, we will use it. Okay, fine. Listen carefully. This is very important. But once we learn ES6 classes, this is not important. But if you want to go for pure JavaScript projects, then you must aware of this one. And moreover, if you want to understand later examples, what's happening internally in the JavaScript level, if you want to understand, these things are very important. Okay, fine. So let me write down fast the same example, or otherwise copy paste if any possibility. No, just I have removed that one. Okay, fine. So function employee name is salary. Okay, I know the typing. So because of that reason, we can save the time. So this dot name. Otherwise, if I type THIS, then it would be too difficult, right? So is. That's why learn typing is very important for a programmer. So don't forget that one. Salary. Go for only 1 month. So for the typing would be there. Otherwise, you can use any typing related software. So based upon that, we will find out. So some shortcuts would be there. QWERTY we have to use. So from backside onwards, we have to use the fingers. Based on that, you will find out. But most of the developers, they may think why typing is required. We know we can see the keyboard and type. That is not good practice. So you should not see the keyboard anytime. You have to watch only monitor. So just see the monitor, but type it from the below. So then only, so as a developer, this is a good practice and you can save a lot of time. Fine. Yeah, function employee, why it is coming this type of colors? Some spelling mistake is there? No, what's happening? So keywords, no sir, when you are typing or learning code. No, why this function is coming this black, only white color? Some mistake we have done. Function employee. What is this here? Any mistake? Script spelling is wrong. Yeah, that's why something is wrong. Otherwise, it will give the color. Yeah, so now fine. Thank you. So let me find out where EMP1 equal to, so new employee. So new employee, I want to provide Chiru some 35. So some salary is some 60,000. Similar way, I want to create one more object. So EMP2, so new employee. So Uday, something 30, something 50,000. That's it. We know this is constructor way of function creation. Okay. So now I want to add for the employee one. So I'm trying to add employee one only for employee one bonus. I'm trying to add 5,000 rupees. So is this applicable for employee two? No. So if you want, we will try to see console.log. So EMP1, okay, and console.log EMP2. So if you observe EMP1, it will add extra bonus, but so EMP doesn't add that bonus. If you want, we will check it out. We go to the physical location, F12. See, first employee is bonus name salary is there. So this is first employee, but second employee, there is no bonus because I did not add any property for the employee too. But for example, for this employee, I have created 100 objects. So do we need to provide for each and every employee like this? No, we have to provide for the employee level. So employee, but bonus, if you write it, then it doesn't work. See, so if you keep it here, console.log, so where is bonus? No bonus. So when it will applicable, if you try to add at the runtime, so we have to use the prototype dot bonus. Now you will see the magic. Okay, so now if you observe refresh, bonus of undefined. What happened? Prototype type. Okay, sir, you have added a prototype object bonus, but now I am unable to find that one bonus here, right? We are saying name is salary, but if I try to access that bonus, we will get it. If you observe, we will get it. See, sir, without property, how can we access, sir? Some magic. I told you already, but once again, I will show you. So if you try to print the bonus, so I'm trying to print only bonus. So we are getting. Sir, what is this magic? But property is not there, but how can we get it this bonus? That is the miracle of prototype keyword. Okay, once again, I'm explaining, listen carefully. So generally, if you want to add new properties at the time of runtime, we have to use the prototype keyword. So existing employee object or employee function dot prototype dot new property. So then I'm trying to give 5,000. So now this 5,000 would be applicable for all these function related objects. employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 1000 also, so that 5000 would be applicable. But the thing is, so if I write individually, then it would be applicable for only employee 1. Like how to add EMP1 dots bonus. No need to provide a prototype for that. So directly we can provide individual object level. But if I want to provide entire whole function, okay, so for all the objects, we have to use a prototype keyword. If you try to add prototype keyword, so this bonus will add to the employee function. But if you observe console.log, we should not find, see, employee, I'm trying to print the employee, but you will find out only name is salary, but bonus will not be available. If you observe here, oh, sorry, something we did mistake. What happened? Employee dot prototype dot bonus we have add console dot log employee. And right? Again, something mistake we did earlier. It's working. What happened here? So console dot log. I'm trying to print. Okay, employee 1. Okay, employee 1. I'm trying to print. I have tried to add. So employee 1. So name Chiru, age 35, salary 60,000. But not there. We have added. But where is this bonus? Bonus is not there if you observe here. Even we have added for entire employee, right? If you try to print employee 2 also, that bonus is not available. If you observe, for employee 2 also bonus is not there. See, only name is salary is there, but where is that bonus property? But if you try to access console.log of employee, so 1, right, employee 1 dot, we can get age, name, salary, but also here bonus also there. If you observe, see, if you try to enter, we are, what happened? Console spelling here. So 5000 is coming. But here, employee 1 doesn't have bonus, then how to get it? So just expand this one. Now you will find out. So age, name, salary is there. But here one more parent object, that is a prototype object, would be there. So that is inheritance underscore underscore proto underscore underscore object. If you expand, that bonus would be available. So now if you try to access this age, name, salary, bonus, we are able to access because so that our employee object indirectly inheritance with prototype object, so that hike or bonus something. So that's why inside the employee 1, we are able to access parent related properties also. Now you need to understand what is inheritance. So inheritance means parent object properties and methods acquire from child object is nothing but inheritance. So that inheritance mechanism, that prototypal inheritance mechanism happen. So because of that reason, so for that employee 1, we are able to access hike or bonus or something. So now you understand, right? So now if I explain next example, yes, sir, this is correct. So, okay, we can do. I will explain literal way of object creation, then you will get to know full idea about this one. Okay, so we have done only property level. If you want, we can add new function also. So new employee dot prototype dot. So that is my something we have provided, right? So mine, okay, I did not provide first method here. If you want this dot, my emp info something function console.log. I'm not writing anything, or otherwise you can use this dot name, this dot esc, this dot salary. Leave it about our concentration is only prototypal inheritance. Yeah, so here I'm trying to add so new function, my new emp info. So function console.log. So employee, okay, right. So first function, normal function. So runtime function. So that is by default, we have provided this one inside the employee. This is the runtime we are trying to add, but this function would be added to the, not for the employee, it will be adding to the prototype object. Okay, so that is the very important, but still we are able to access through emp1, emp2, because so inheritance mechanism is happen internally. Okay, fine. So now if you observe emp1 and emp2, clear, refresh. See, my emp info is the, so existing normal function is there, but there is no new my emp info, right? Where it is available inside the proto object, my new emp info is there, bonus also there, right? So this is nothing but, so prototype keyword or prototypal inheritance internally happens. So for the new properties, and for the new methods. Okay, so just write down this example. Okay, otherwise I will ping you. Oh, what happened? Okay, fine, fine. So if you observe next example for you, I will create so one little way of object creation, then you will get to know, yes sir, it's very correct. So we can do this approach. Okay, so let me provide a normal way of object creation, literal way. So I don't want to do any other stuff. Normal using underscore underscore proto. How can we do the inheritance normal way of object creations? Okay. So where I'm taking old example, animal is there for better understanding I'm giving. So animal is the parent. And so below you can write cat, rat, dog, something. Okay. So eats. So every animal can eat, right? So that is true Boolean value. Every animal can walk, right? So just I'm providing method. So most of the members, they will confuse, sir, inside the literal object, can we write methods directly like this? Yes, we can write it. So no, sir, I want to write it. This is better approach as you wish. You can write function. No issues. You can write any approach. Okay, most of the member, they will confuse about these things. Sir, I have seen somewhere else. So methods, they will write directly. So is it possible? Yes, we can. But this is normal way of writing. So that method property name, so that function. Okay, or otherwise, that's why we will write normally this approach. If you want, you can write like this also, no issues. For understanding, I will write like this. Okay, so similar way I have written, okay, console.log. So animal can walk. This is the implementation. So try to understand the concept first. So then I'm trying to provide, so where, so one of the, this thing, so let me provide rabbit, the same example I bought it from the, so Google only. So that jumps. So every example is from the Google only. Yes, that is correct only, but we will modify at least some things, but this is as it is for better understanding, I'm explaining. So till now it is okay. So animal eats property, walk method is there. Rabbit jumps. This is the special property of rabbit. So not all the animals jumps, right? Right? So but rabbit can jump. So this is the special property for the rabbit. So now, so rabbit wants to get the properties of eats and as well as walk. These are common properties for every animal, right? So I want to access this eats and walk method from rabbit. So that is nothing but inheritance. So inheritance means just now we have seen. So parent object properties and methods. Parent object property and method. Okay. So methods acquire means getting. So acquire from child object. So means rabbit. Even doesn't have anything, also no issues. So I want to access this property and methods inside the rabbit. So for that, just now we have seen underscore proto, so colon object, right? So here our parent is underscore proto underscore colon, parent object is animal. Just if you write like this, then we are able to access this property and this method inside the rabbit. So if you want, we can check it out. So rabbit dot, so I'm getting eats. Okay, so now we will check it out. So console.log rabbit eats, what it will display, we will see. So I'm trying to access 3 by using dot notation. So rabbit dot eats. But is there any property would be there? Eats and walk method is available inside the rabbit? No. But because of this line of statement, we are able to, for example, animal is having 100 properties. So 100 methods. Those 100 properties and 100 methods, we can get it from the child object. This is nothing but inheritance. Okay, so now, so what we are rabbit.eats, I'm trying to get it here. So go there, console.log. Yes, true. Is it, we are able to access. If you want to call the method console.log rabbit.walk. So now refresh. Oh, console spelling mistake. So animal can walk. Okay, this undefined because we did not give return type here. If you want to give, we have already discussed these things. Animal can walk. So now it should not display that undefined here. Those are normal things. Do not focus on those things. Focus on what exactly we are discussing. If you focus on other things, then you will miss actual concepts. So that is the things. So if I cover something earlier, then you have to practice and you have to read that one. Then you should not ask next time onwards. Okay, fine. So now inside the child, we are able to access. Sorry. So parent related properties and methods. Okay, so this is the way we have to achieve the inheritance through ES5. From ES6 level onwards, we have separate story, extends keyword, we will use it. That is excellent way. In all other programming languages, we will use that approach only. We should not use this prototypal inheritance. But if you go for only JavaScript related projects, if they did not use any ES6, that is maintenance project, support project, then you should be aware of this prototypal inheritance. Okay, so that is the reason we will discuss these things also. Okay, so this is very important. So you should aware of first, oh sorry, you should aware of first how to add so new properties and new methods to the so existing function by using prototype keyword. If you understand that one internally what's happening, that so new properties and methods will not add to the directly to the that particular object. So it will add to the so prototype object. So that prototype is inherited from the existing object. So that's why in the existing object level, we are able to access that inherited object, that is prototype object related properties and methods inside the employee. So that is earlier one. So the same thing I have taken how to use underscore underscore proto, so that colon parent related object, then how to able to access parent related properties and methods inside the child. If you have any special method, you can use so rabbit related special methods also as you wish. Okay. So for example, I want to provide these methods are not applicable for the animal because so this is special method or special property for the rabbit only. Jumps true. Okay. So if you provide here, so now if you want console.log, so rabbit dot jumps. If you try to print animal dot jumps, it doesn't print. Console dot animal dot, see if you observe animal eats is there because we have animal object is having its walk method is there, but it doesn't display that jumps method. Jumps, oh, it is displaying, right? Animal dot jumps, it's not possible, right? We will see. Undefined. Okay, so rabbit jumps is coming true, but actually it is displaying, but so we can't access that one because animal doesn't have jumps property. So we should not do reverse. So rabbit is having jump special property and rabbit is having parent related properties and methods we can access. But parent cannot access child related property. So that's why we are getting undefined. So here we will get true, but animal we can't access jumps, so that's why we will get it undefined. Okay, so rabbit can eat, so true. So rabbit can walk, so animal can walk, it will display. If you want, we can display parent related methods, but what is the use of printing like that? Console.log, so animal dot eats. So that is possible, right? We know these things. That's why I did not write console.log animal dot walk method. Okay, so these things it would be happen because we know we have already learned. So object and object related dot notation or bracket notation we can use, so we can access. But child related thing object can access parent related properties and method. That is the thing about inheritance. Okay, but one more thing, reverse it is not possible. So if you write any special properties and methods for the child object, so those child related special properties and methods we should not access inside the parent object. So just remember that point. So that's why we will get undefined. Okay, so this is the way we have to do the inheritance we can achieve, so inside the JavaScript. Okay, fine guys, so we will discuss about remaining JavaScript concepts tomorrow. So tomorrow I think Pooja will update you the timings, mostly that 8 p.m. only, that is sure. Okay, 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, please try to do that assignments. 2 assignments I have given. So I will verify those assignments. So I will give you time. So 1 week time for you. No issues. You can prepare. I will verify on Saturday. So please try to do it your own. Do not discuss with your friends immediately. Once again, so just do it your own, then search in Google. So search in somewhere else, but do not discuss with your friends immediately. So if you did not find something, then discuss with your friends. Still, if you did not find, so both of you then discuss with other persons like seniors or someone, or so 90 percentage if you find the solution from the Google, you can survive in the industry easily because Google is the better resource. If you try to get it from your seniors or friends, right, then you will not show that much interest. So you should aware of so surrounding things also. If you search for something, so then you will find out surrounding things. Okay, maybe you may use something this keyword, why they have used this keyword. So most of the places you will find out the let keyword, why they have used let keyword. You will observe those things. We will discuss, don't worry, let and concentrate later. But you will observe some more extra things. So then you will read, oh, what is let? Okay, let is introduced from the ES. If you find out, so instead of where, so if you search in Google, most of the times you will find the let keyword or constant keyword. So then why they have used? So before I'm explaining, if you try to research on that, so if I explain, then you will find out, you will remember permanently. So that's why, okay. What is tomorrow? Yeah, so I will explain. Okay, we have covered only so today, so prototypal object and web storage. So tomorrow I will try to explain so closure related concept. So closure and exception handling mechanism I will discuss tomorrow. Okay, fine. So then, so I will try to discuss about some theory topics. So this keyword and event loop mechanism I will explain. Okay, fine. Thank you.